I'm not gonna lie guys, this might be one of my favorite manga hauls ever. Not just because of the amazing stuff I got, but because it reminds me of a simpler time where I was a lot more reckless with my money. Hey, what's going on guys? My name is ThePromG. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, like I just suggested, today's manga haul video has hints of 2021 PromG because not only did I get a bunch of manga this month, but because there is a lot, if not most of this haul that is made up of out of print rare manga, specifically stuff I got for great deals. In particular, during Half Price Books Labor Day weekend sale where everything was 20% off and my local hobby shop which had 35% off all manga. Needless to say, I took full advantage of both of those sales. We're gonna get through all this manga today in this month's manga haul. I really hope you guys enjoy. If you do, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. Also, make sure to leave a comment down below telling me either what was your favorite manga pickup you got this month, or if there's something I bought this month that you've read, let me know what you thought about it. But with all that being said, without any further ado, I say we get right into showing off all the manga I picked up this month. Alright, so the first thing we got here is something that I bought off of Reddit. It's the only thing I bought from Reddit, but it was a great deal, a pickup I'm really excited about, so I decided we'll show it off. It is Witch Hat Atelier Volumes 1 through 10. Now, full disclosure, I have not read a single chapter of this manga, but it has been recommended to me so many times, as well as being very highly rated on sites like my anime list. And I will say, I don't really go on Manga Swap on Reddit as much as I used to, mainly because I just have most things I want already in my collection, but this is a series that I've wanted to add to my collection for quite a while, so finding 10 volumes for, I believe it was $70, couldn't pass it up. And as I'm showing off the rest of these covers, I want to mention that this also came from a viewer of the channel who I did not know was a viewer of the channel until I found a note in the bottom of the box that said he watched the videos and he hopes I show off the volumes in a haul, so had to do it for my man. Thank you again for sending me these for a great price. So now we're going to move on to the stuff that I got at Half Price Books, which was all 20% off as part of their Labor Day sale. The first thing I got is Shigeru Mizuki's Nonanba. This is from a legendary manga creator who I read his Hitler book, which I thought was really good, and I know nothing about this, but it's a great author who I've just gotten introduced to with a really good manga, so I'm excited to give this one a try. Now, earlier I said that I can be a little reckless when it comes to spending money on manga sets, but one thing I rarely ever do is buy complete, very long manga all in one go on a whim. But can you guess what I did this month? Yeah, so when I was at Half Price Books, I noticed they had the entire set of Kaguya-Sama Love Is War, and I just had to have it. So I already owned volumes 1 and 2, but I did pick up the rest of the volumes. Here we have volumes 3 through 8 and 9 through 15. And then here we have 16 through 28, which is the conclusion of this manga. Now, I have heard great things about this one as well, particularly that it's very funny. Obviously, the anime was super popular, so it's gotta be somewhat enjoyable, right? I was also thinking back to an old Gear Third manga review video where he said this is one of his favorite series ever, so it is a little bit long, and I don't know when I'm gonna have the time to fully dive into it as I'm reading a lot of other stuff right now, but at like $4 a volume plus the discount on top of that, couldn't leave this set to sit on the shelf. With this next manga I picked up at Half Price Books, we're getting into the out-of-print territory. And this is actually a manga that I've owned before, but sold off because I thought it sucked. But you know, I'm a man who believes in giving second chances, so I'm giving High School of the Dead another run around. Yes, we have volumes 1 through 7 in the singles of the High School of the Dead manga. Of course, this is an ecchi manga that takes place during the zombie apocalypse, probably one of the most infamous ecchi manga to ever come out, just because it is absolutely ridiculous sometimes, especially with the fan service. And I believe I got through the first 3 or 4 volumes when I read this several years ago, and I just dropped it because I thought it was stupid and not worth my time to continue reading, even though it's very short and actually incomplete. But with October and Halloween just around the corner, I have been thinking about doing some sort of horror manga video, and I decided what better time to pick up this series and give it another try than right now. Plus, it was very cheap, I believe, like $6 a volume. If you guys don't know, the singles for this manga are out of print. Not sure how much they're going for nowadays, but definitely more than what I bought them for. The next manga set I got this month at Half Price Books also contains some out of print volumes. Here we have some volumes of Bloody Monday, which is a manga that I previously never even heard of. Apparently it's some sort of espionage thriller that has this main character who's a hacker, some stuff with terrorists and the government. I really don't know. What really threw me off was this cover with looks like Jesus on the front. But what I do know is that some of these volumes are not very easy to find. I think in particular, volume 4 has a little bit of value to it, and these were all half price, so like $4 to $5 a piece. As you can tell, I am missing a few volumes. I'm not sure if I'm missing any other rare ones, but I am missing the first volume, so I haven't gotten into this one yet, but just from the synopsis and some of the reviews I've seen, I'm really looking forward to it. And the final manga set I picked up at Half Price Books during their 20% off sale is another complete manga that is very rare and hard to find. That manga is going to be none other than Haganai, I Don't Have Many Friends, the complete set of the singles from 7 Seas. Now, if you guys couldn't tell from my shelves, I don't read a lot of romance or ecchi manga, not that you'd be able to tell by the manga I've showed off in this haul so far, but I have heard that Haganai is one of the better rom-com series that are out there. I've heard it's pretty fun, and it has kind of a unique synopsis with these losers who kind of create a club, do social stuff together, and kind of grow closer to one another. I think that's a pretty cool concept. In addition to the complete manga, we also have the 2 spin-off volumes with 50% More Fail and Club Minutes, I believe it's called. So we do have these as well. One of these is kind of hard to find. I can't remember which one. Speaking of hard to find, some of these volumes are very expensive. Now, I think there was one volume, I believe volume 10, that I actually paid about $50 for, which I hate doing at Half Price Books. I'll avoid it at all costs, but there were other super rare volumes in the mix that were priced at $6.49, so I figured it kind of factored out to be worth it. And I believe after it's all said and done, I paid around $200 for this complete set, maybe a little bit less, so a lot of money for sure, but not as much as this set usually goes for, so I think this is still a very lucky find. And now we're going to move on to all the manga I got for 35% off at my local hobby shop during their Labor Day sale. Starting things off, we have 3 volumes of the Code Geass manga. Now, if you guys don't know, Code Geass is one of my favorite anime ever, definitely top 3, and actually owned this entire manga set back in the day, but I quickly realized it just doesn't have mechs in it, which is just absolutely baffling to me, and I'm sure to you as well if you've watched the anime. That's like how all the combat is done. It's a huge part of this story, and they just don't have the nightmares in this manga. But I did find volumes 1, 2, and 4. I'm not sure the value on these, but I know it's quite a bit more than the $3 a piece I paid for each of these, so this was a very nice pickup for the month. Next up here, we have a few more volumes that I bought with the intention to resell, the first one being K-On! Volume 4. They did have some other volumes of this there, but they were just way overpriced, and for some reason Volume 4 was not, so I just picked up Volume 4. Should get a decent little flip on this one. And the last thing I picked up to sell is the complete set of the omnibuses of Clamp's Tokyo Babylon. Now, I actually recently just sold a copy of this omnibus too, I believe for around 40 bucks. This one is in way better condition than the last one, so hopefully paired with this omnibus 1, which is in a little bit rough shape, I hopefully can get a nice bundle sale for these two. Now, Tokyo Babylon is a manga that I do want to read, but I've decided I'm going to go with the new premium editions that are coming out rather than the omnibuses. I just think these volumes look way cooler, so that's what I'm going with. Now, moving on to the manga that I bought with the intention to read and keep in my collection. Starting off here, we have volume 2 of The Boxer. This is a webtoon that actually got the first volume sent to me by Eyes Press, the publisher, and I loved it. Every time I see that volume 1 on my shelf, I just think to myself, why have I not bought more volumes? It was so good. So I found volume 2, got it for 10 bucks plus the 35% off. An amazing deal, a no-brainer. Next up here, I got volume 2 in the Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack manga. I will keep it a buck. I didn't even know this had a manga. I believe this has started publishing pretty recently from Denpa. Now, obviously it's from a different artist, but it does look pretty faithful to the Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin manga, which I have read and absolutely loved. Sadly, they only had volume number 2. I would have picked up 1 if they had it. So if you've given this one a try, let me know, is this a good Gundam installment, or is this one that maybe isn't quite as good as Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin or Thunderbolt or stuff like that? The next thing I got is Omnibus 1 of Don't Call It Mystery by Yumi Tamura, the mangaka behind series series like Seven Seas and Basara, which was one of my favorite manga reads from a couple years ago. And yeah, this is actually a series that I've wanted to read for going on probably over a year now, since it started coming out in these omnibus from Seven Seas. I've seen a lot of people hype this up, like seriously hype it up. So when I saw the first omnibus there marked at 12 bucks plus the discount, I had to pick it up. If it's even half as good as Basara was, it'll stick around in the collection. So ladies and gentlemen, we have finally arrived at the last pickup for this month's manga haul, and we've got an out of print manga that is an ecchi, so kind of in theme with the other stuff I picked up today. But here we have the complete set of Dragons Rioting. Now this is a very interesting manga. The series follows our main protagonist, who is this dude who has a rare heart condition where if he gets a boner, he just dies. So in classic anime fashion, somehow he ends up at an all-girls school, and he's got to traverse his way through the situation without getting himself killed. The big twist with this manga is that it's actually quite focused on martial arts as well as fan service, as you can tell. Now, funnily enough, I actually have read the first volume of the series years ago, actually made its own video on it, the only video on my channel to ever get age restricted. And I am not ashamed to say that I really enjoyed that first volume. So when I found this set marked at $130 with the discount, came out to around 90 bucks, which is about retail for a series that has some very expensive volumes in it. So an amazing deal for the set. And honestly, I think this is going to be a really quick but super fun read that, you know, you don't have to take too seriously. So yeah, this kind of ended up being the month of ecchi and rom-coms for me, which is totally unlike what I have in my collection, but you know, sometimes switching up can be a good thing. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for today's video, going over all the manga I picked up for great deals this month during sales. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing it all. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, this has been ThePromG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.